Today's games are brought to you by AE Engine Media Marketing, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Bubba Burger, Bullseye CMYK, Cliff Kid, Expand-A-Brand, Front Rush, Fusionetics, Dick's Sporting Goods. Today's games are also brought to you by Major League Soccer, Nestle Nesquik, Nike, NSCAA, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, U.S. Soccer, Wilson Trophy Company, and Yokohama.
The road starts here. The road paved by pain, sacrifice, and struggle. The road paved by passion and pursuit. The road where dreams come true. On this road, many will fail, and on this road, many dreams will fade. But as for you, what will be your fate? When there are seconds left and you are running on fumes, will you be satisfied with almost? Or will you dig down into the dirt, take one more step and make one more play, knowing that good enough isn't good enough? And all the blood, sweat, and tears have brought you to this moment, the moment where pain turns to greatness. On this road, nothing is given, everything is taken. On this road, winners will rise to the top. Heroes will be made. And on this road, champions will be crowned.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935. Offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. Maguire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. Maguire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim Maguire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career, to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the Maguire Cup.
Winning the Maguire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period. That's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied Maguire Cup?
Welcome to the 17U boys semifinal matchup here in the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships from the Toyota Soccer Complex in Frisco, Texas. I'm Michael Westbrook. Thank you for being along with us today for this matchup. Team out of Michigan, the Michigan Jaguars 00 against the FC Dallas Premier from right here in the area. So should be a good matchup. FC Dallas in the red uniforms and the Michigan club in the white uniforms. This one's starting a bit late, and by a bit I mean 45 minutes. Quite a bit late, in fact, after our last 19 and 20 U boys semifinal contest between the Chicago Fire and West Coast Haney went into overtime, where in that matchup West Coast defeated Chicago Fire 1-0. So part of the semifinals already complete, and the finals beginning to shape up for some of the divisions. Not quite there to that point yet for the 17U. The other 17U boys semifinal is taking place over on Field 5. In fact, we had 3 of our games go into the extras. 3 of our 5 broadcasts earlier today here from Turbo Sports. So it could be a little bit of a long morning for most everybody, but still only 2 matches for each broadcast space today. Again, just kind of getting this one underway. FC Dallas in the red uniforms, Michigan Jaguars in the white. Our weather conditions for this one, as the goalkeeper's going to come out and make the stop there. Looks like it should be okay throughout most of this match. We're at 83 degrees right now, partly cloudy skies, and with the heat index it is 91. East-northeast wind, 7 miles per hour. That wind has shifted from what we saw earlier in the week, where it was coming out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it should come all the way full circle there and be out of the north before the end of the day, maybe early afternoon. But right now, again, out of the east-northeast, 7 miles per hour. High temperature today, 96 degrees. Don't think we'll quite get there. It's supposed to be about 89 by noon. So should be able to play both of these matches in the 80-degree temperature range for first time all week, because the last couple of days it was into the 90s by 10:30. See what type of style we see from these two teams, as Sebastian Rivera had it on the right side and they work it back over to the left side. Their goalkeeper helping out along the way. Luke McDonald in goal for the Michigan team. that last match that we saw, and I know that it's a different age division, doesn't affect these guys, but it had a slow developing pace to it. And the pace didn't really develop much as they were all knotted up still after the regulation. And this is a lot of what we saw, keeping the ball in the backfield. Although this has really carried on quite a bit for the FC Dallas team in the red uniforms. Savon Pendergrass wearing number 33. He controls it right now for FC Dallas. Now after all that, Michigan comes up with it, but not cleanly. Nicholas Palafox not able to come up with it there a moment ago. Now Alexander Delu. Palafox works it left side. Micah Sonnenberg. Braden Walker. And it is knocked out. Imagine we have more of an audience from Michigan for this one, with the FC Dallas team being right here from the North Texas area, but imagine we could still have some folks watching FC Dallas online as well. We are just next to the Toyota Stadium where the MLS FC Dallas team plays. First corner kick of the contest, immediately punched out by FC Dallas. Good hustle there that time by the Michigan Jaguars' Dominic Gadsden to knock it out, but FC Dallas will have the throw in. Michigan Jaguars have something going in the box here, and a clear out at the last second by Sebastian Rivera. Good play by the defender Rivera to keep step and knock it away. Goalkeeper coming out for FC Dallas to send this one downfield, left side. FC Dallas in the red uniforms. Again, going left to right in the first half as Coling had it knocked to him. Over to his teammate Mo. And here comes Mission again on the move. Past one defender into the box. Might have an opportunity, and it's knocked off of the goalkeeper. Wow. Definitely seeing two different styles of play right now. Michigan Jaguars going right at FC Dallas and their goalkeeper. Meanwhile, FC Dallas has played a much slower style through the first 7 minutes. I'd say FC Dallas has had the ball for at least 4 of these first 7 minutes, but it's probably stayed in the backfield 3 of those 4 minutes. And we saw one of their possessions just kicked back and forth along the line, and then when they got it up into the attacking area, it took about 2 seconds for Michigan to kick it back the other way. That's about what we see here this time too. Goalkeeper taking his time here. This FC Dallas Premier team advanced to the Region 3 Championship as winners of the Southern Regional Premier League West Division. They earned a perfect 9 points during the group stage in order to make it here to the Nationals. Again, not too much of a travel for them. Jaguars were the Group A winners. They went 2-1-0 with 6 points. 2 points ahead of Santa Clara Sporting Green. A couple of California teams, one from Virginia, also in that Group A play. Michigan down the right side, kicked away by the back line again for FC Dallas. Meanwhile, FC Dallas was the second place team out of Group B. Michigan controlling it there in Jason Moe. Moe finds his teammate back inside, deflected. Stays with Michigan. Very good passing in the early going from Michigan. Ball free near midfield, picked up by Garrett Brahman for FC Dallas. Brahman is out in front. Brahman working his way into the box, and it's going to be stopped by the goalkeeper, Luke McDonald. Brahman was working 1-on-4 there. And see if they issue Brahman a yellow card. Nope, they do not, but he definitely had the sliding tackle on Dominic Gaston. Took a huge chunk out of the grass, and after he had gone into the box, was having to rush back the other way. It was a long way for him to go over there, and it was a frustration move for sure. Probably lucky he didn't get the yellow there. But early on, maybe the referee, I don't know, it's directly in front of us. Again, look at this fast-paced Michigan team. They can get the ball down there in a hurry. It's interesting, on this field, we've really seen matchups that have featured very similar teams in their style, either both a hurry style to get up and down the field, or both of them a slow, methodical style. But this seems to feature two teams going at it a different way. We're going to see FC Dallas kick the ball around the backfield here for probably 30 seconds or so. And for once, they move it up a little quicker. Maybe they found their footing now. Didn't take long for Michigan to get it right back, though. Give you the rest of those standings. Baltimore Celtic was 3-0-0. Knocked away that time by Sebastian Rivera. He's been all over the place, so we've got a corner kick up coming for Michigan. So again, 3-0-0 for Baltimore Celtic. FC Dallas Premier was 1-1-1. And Sparta 0-0 was 1-1-1. Actually tied in the points, but the goal differential went to Premier, as they had a +2 goal differential. Their third place team was -3. Corner coming in the 13th minute, and that's going to be knocked back around by FC Dallas. Mo tried to work it over to the far side to Gaston, and a little too far out in front of him. It clears over to the other side out of play where FC Dallas has to throw in. We're on the opposite side of the team benches. FC Dallas bench off to our left. They've got the two red tents covering up their area, and the two red tents directly in front of us for the Michigan bench. Opportunity at the championship on the line. That is going to take place at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That'll be over on field 6. Now, they don't keep a whole lot of stats in soccer, but if you were to keep just possessions for Michigan, as the attempt from Sonnenberg misses, I bet you Michigan's already had 30, 40 possessions, it seems like, in the first 14 minutes. 13 and a half. Sonnenberg back across the middle, and that one will be stopped by the goalkeeper. Good pass in the middle. Decent right-footed effort that time. Maybe the tallest goalkeeper we've seen in any of the divisions. Down there at the left end of the field in the green uniform for FC Dallas. Header downfield, not controlled too cleanly by Fabian Cruz, and he loses it out. Jaguars advance to the Region 2 Championship via the Midwest Regional League. Went 2-0-1 in group stage play and then defeated Nationals Union 2-1 in the semifinals. And also came back to defeat the 2016 national finalist Raiders out of Illinois. That one was in overtime to claim that regional title to make it to this point. State champs in 2014 and 15, regional champs this year. Ball intended for Rivera, but it was taken away by Michigan. Working his way up the left side, Braden Walker. Braden being chased, still going. Got a little bit of a tangle up, ball still free. Walker across, and it misses. All the way to the other side and out. FC Dallas throw in coming, but again, the pressure that Michigan is putting on FC Dallas. You know, get your fans involved too. Not that I'm against the approach of FC Dallas. They got to play their game, but you get that ball moving forward, it puts people on edge a bit. You just keep moving backwards with it, and everybody kind of relaxes. And that may be what FC Dallas is hoping for. A little bit more of a setup this time here from Michigan as they work it over to Palafox, and it's booted back down the other way. FC Dallas player in pursuit. Coling's going to come up with it and send it away with a left foot. FC Dallas played to a 2-2 draw against Sparta OOJK, the first contest of the game on Tuesday. Michigan lost their first contest to West Coast FC Armor 3-0. No score here in this one. 18th minute of action. First half in our semifinals for the 17U boys division. About a 45-minute delayed start due to the contest beforehand. Delu outside, turns it back in, looking in the middle, stepped up and taken away by FC Dallas. Good effort there that time by Micah Sonnenberg. Going up into the air to make sure he knocked it away from Garrett Brahman. The good thing about the setup here with all of these fields, we're on the RAV4 field. There's an open field over in front of us that the teams could warm up on. They still gave them about 10 minutes on this field prior to the start of it. So in the preliminary round, they would not have done that. They would have only given them about 5 minutes probably, but a little bit extra here into the semifinals. And the rules set up like this: if we're tied after regulation, they play 2 15-minute halves. They do not have the golden goal rule in effect. Ball given to Michigan, I think. Sebastian Rivera. That was just a delay tactic because even if he actually thought his team was going to have the ball, he wasn't going to throw it in from way down there. So he was definitely just trying to delay the situation a little bit. The header goes out by Coling, and that'll give it back to FC Dallas. Do have some championships coming up tonight. The 13U and 14U girls and boys championships will start at 7 o'clock, and every 15 minutes they'll get one started on the 4 different fields. The bulk of the championships tomorrow. 10 of the 14 will be crowned tomorrow. The 19 and 20U boys championship has been played. Here's one up in front. The goalkeeper stops on it. It was going to have offsides anyways. The 1920U boys championship has been played since 1935, except for a couple of years in there during World War II. And steadily over the years, they've added different age divisions. This division had some tough opponents for sure. Group A had reigning national champion McLean Green from Virginia. West Coast FC Armor topped the National League Blue Division with a 6-1-0 record. Neither one of those teams playing here in this one right now, but again, that Group A had some really tough competition. Alexander Delu. Delu working your right side over to Mo. '21st minute of action. In each of the preliminary matchups that began at 9 o'clock or later, they would stop about halfway through each half and give both sides a water break. Conditions are still okay right now, where we're not it's not too hot, so I don't know if they're going to do that or not. Just for consistency's sake, I feel like maybe they might. Pendergrass works it near the midfield line for FC Dallas. No score here. Just joining us, FC Dallas in the red, going left to right in the opening frame. Michigan's in the white, going right to left. Carlos Santa Maria. Maria around one defender. Taken away. Good defense again by Michigan. Again, the possessions in the attacking end for FC Dallas have been very limited so far. Good footwork there by Gaston to not only kick the ball upfield, but then get around the man in front of him. Here comes Michigan. Michigan down into the box area, punched across left side, and that one's going to go just right of the goal off the foot of Braden Walker. Corner kick coming now for the Michigan Jaguars. It'll be Walker, who just missed on that attempt a moment ago. Walker sends it in. It's going to bounce in front of FC Dallas. Picked up at the midway line by Sonnenberg, and he'll kick back to his goalkeeper. A little bit of a reset there for Michigan. They're ready to go now up along the left side Palafox. Played in the middle by Delu. Now the attack begins. Punched away. FC Dallas makes the stop. Gaston, he works it up in front, and he cannot get around the goalkeeper. Luke McDonald steps out, punches it away. Garrett Brahman needed one extra step. It wasn't there. We will have a quick break here for an opportunity to let the two teams rehydrate a bit. 24th minute of action, first half. No score. FC Dallas and Michigan right here at the USYS Soccer National Championships in Frisco, Texas. After the break in the action, we are back here at the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. No score in our 17U boys division between Michigan Jaguars and the FC Dallas Premier. Michigan the home team, FC Dallas the away team in this one. As Sebastian Rivera will throw in from just off to our right side of our broadcast area. He's looking for some help. Can't find anybody to throw it into. Finally able to knock it into David Ortiz. Ortiz has some pressure and is off of FC Dallas. A couple times now we've seen FC Dallas try to get the ball back in for their side. I don't know if that's done on purpose or if they're just not hearing or seeing the calls that were made. So it does go to Michigan. Told you that FC Dallas had a perfect 9 points through group stage play. They had a 3-2 quarterfinal victory over SLSC 2000 Blue out of Oklahoma. And FC Dallas defeated the Houstonians 3-0 in the semifinals, claimed a 4-1 victory over a team out of North Carolina in order to make it onto the regionals, or onto the nationals from the regionals. State champs in 2017, and then again winning that regional this year. Michigan on the move again. Jason Moe trying to work it upfield to Walker. Walker's had a couple of looks at the goal in the early going. Hasn't been able to capitalize just yet. That one going off a bad angle of a Coling and out. So it is going to stay, however, with Michigan. Now our other semifinal match in the 17U on Field 5, Baltimore Celtic SC 2000. Out of Maryland against Santa Clara Sporting Green from California. Jaguars won the Group A. Baltimore Celtic won Group B. Baltimore Celtic was a perfect 3-0 with 9 points. Sonnenberg to the middle of the field. Out of bounds throw in coming from Michigan. DeLu over to the right side. Not a great attempt there from Mo. A little frustrated with himself, I think. And Gaston has it back to Mo. Jason Mo, strong windup. One hops into the mittens of the goalkeeper for FC Dallas. Ball placed to Brahman at midfield. He'll work it back. Brahman over to Pendergrass as they swing it to the left side. Clean plate first half so far. FC Dallas in the middle of the field looking for something. Now big wind up, rolls right into the stomach of Luke McDonald, however, who went down for it. Nicholas Palafox, left side, working one-on-one. Across into the box, nothing there that time. Another clear out by the back line for FC Dallas, and this one will float near midfield before Coling picks it up. Coling works it over to Jeremy Cohen. Another opportunity here for Michigan again, and that one's going to sail high over the goal. Saying it was a clean plate first half so far. Haven't seen just too much stand out. They've been going back and forth pretty good. Substitution here for FC Dallas as Joe Ameki is going to go out. Maybe a couple of spots from FC Dallas that you'd like to, sportsmanship issues maybe, but hadn't been too bad. Again, early on in the game, a couple of situations where FC Dallas tried to throw it in when it wasn't their possession. They may not have known, but try to give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit anyways. 30th minute of action now and still no score. Michigan working it over to the near side. Good movement from Walker. Free himself up with a little bit of space. Punches it right over to Mo, who fires in. Knocked away. Michigan able to keep the possession here. Rizzo cut off, will back it out. Fancy footwork from Walker, back to Mo. Mo will send it in and knocked down and picked up eventually by the goalkeeper. Rolled up to midfield. FC Dallas in control of the ball now. Brahman slipped a little bit, it looked like. Fabian Cruz. Cruz works it right side. Rivera trying to get that one back to Cruz. Put it right into the chest of Sonnenberg. Not a good clear out that time from Michigan. Now a follow-up attempt from Nicholas Palafox is a good one back to the midway line. Foul called will give it to Michigan. Oh, it looked like a handball from FC Dallas. That was punched right into the arm of the team in red, but either way, it's going to stay with Michigan. Sonnenberg punches it over to DeLu, and he goes cross field back the other direction where Mo retrieves it. Mo has it taken away, and that one's going to roll out, and FC Dallas has the throw in from the far side of the field in our 32nd minute of play now. First half, no score. Michigan and FC Dallas semifinal action. Championship matchup will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. It'll be our second to last start time. 15U girls will be the final start time at 10:30. Here on this field, we'll have the 15U boys beginning at 9, and the 1920U at 7 o'clock. On the move again, DeLu, and DeLu can't split the defenders this time as FC Dallas knocks it back out towards midfield. A header by Sonnenberg keeps it with Michigan for a second or so. Palafox works it over to Mo. Mo, strong kick in, but partially deflected and goes off to the left side before tracked down by the goalkeeper. Just it looked like it was deflected. May have just mishit it. See FC Dallas slowing down the pace again. Strong boot, one hop in front of the box and picked up by the goalkeeper. Another stop for McDonald. Up in front, intended for Brahman. Coling is there. He works it over to Jeremy Cohen. A lot of traffic up near midfield right now. FC Dallas battling Santa Maria. Cannot take it away. It stays, however, with Michigan. Mo working against David Ortiz. Poked free from the back line there. I believe Juan Pablo Rodriguez able to punch it free. Opportunity for Michigan here in the 35th minute of play. 34 complete as corner upcoming. Braden Walker over to the corner. Substitution for FC Dallas first. Walker's ready to go. Line drive kick. Header sends it back the other way for FC Dallas. Picked up by Mo and booted out of play. Substitution now for Michigan as well. .36 minute of play now here in the first half, and it's going to be FC Dallas ball, but another sub for Michigan. Rizzo will go out. Number 9, Danny, out there. Parisian, I think that's right. That's what I'm going with. Definitely saw a lot of close action in our 7 o'clock matchups. It appears that we're heading towards something similar happening in our 9 o'clock games. Marcos Puga was trying to get that one downfield, and defense was there every step of the way for Michigan to keep him from getting any closer. Luke Stoneback now out there along the back line. Got a man open up ahead if they can get it to him on the left side. They do so. Sonnenberg around his man, Sonnenberg, and around another one. Tried to pass it off, and then it was taken away. A good effort by Michigan to keep the ball with their team, Ashmore. And we've got a whistle infraction there against FC Dallas. Set up the free kick situation for Michigan Jaguars. Kick will come from Sonnenberg. Or will it? Maybe. How about Jordan Tirico? So here's Jordan Tirico. And maybe they're going to switch again. See Sonnenberg over in the area. What are we doing here, Michigan? All right, it's going to be Tirico. Nope, maybe not. How about, yeah, it is. Okay, they try to catch everybody off guard a bit. Tirico, a little too much leg into that one. It's going to go out of play. 39th minute now, the first half. The way FC Dallas is playing, if Michigan didn't step up on them, I think FC Dallas might stay in the back behind the line for a couple of minutes. Now they're kind of starting to move the ball forward a little bit quicker, but still developing at a slow pace for them. Throw in here for Michigan. Michael Jeckman. Jeckman sending it up in front to Parisian. And that one misses. So close. Michigan almost had one there, but so just missing was Tirico. But that pressure still being applied here by Michigan. Eventually one of those is going to go in, you would think. You can hear the gasp of air on one side and the cheering on the other from the fans. So much at stake here. A chance at the championship on the line. And both these teams have played really well in the first half. Again, different approach, but a hard collision there, and I think Michigan will be called for the foul. They will. Tyler Welch barreling over an FC Dallas player. Quick turn from David Ortiz. Now he stops. He was begging for some help Nobody there to his left. It looked like maybe Rivera was open to the right, but it would have been a long kick to get it to him. Brahman, who we heard from early on in the contest, has been quiet as of late, and he controlled for a moment there. Michigan takes it away. No score here between Michigan and FC Dallas, the USYS Soccer National Championships. 17U boys division. Knocked out, and FC Dallas has it. FC Dallas starts to make their move. Coling is there. Knock it away. And he finds his teammate Ashmore. Ashmore through the middle. Now goes left side. Tarico. Defense closing in a bit on Tarico. Tries to cross. And that was booted away. But it does stay with Michigan. Somebody has to clear this out for FC Dallas. And they do so. Pretty good alignment there for Michigan. Good spacing, good passing. Thought they might get a little bit better look down that left side. It never really developed, but had a chance in the middle. Here they go again. And stepping up to knock it free is Sebastian Rivera. Corner kick coming for Michigan. We have a player down for FC Dallas. I think they'll stop play here in the just about 44th minute. Tending to David Ortiz. Sub comes off the bench for FC Dallas. Ortiz making it off the field now, so here comes the sub. One of the rare times we see a sub sprint in. We got a corner kick coming. Michigan looking to get on the board perhaps. High ball, left post, grab by the goalkeeper. Pulled in nicely by the keeper that time, and FC Dallas for once sprinting forwards the other way. This one could be tough. Kicked away by the goalkeeper, McDonald. Perfect timing. And that one out off of Michigan there. FC Dallas with the throw in far side. About a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes or so left here in the first frame. Marco Puega down left side, Orlando Castro. Castro elected to let that one go out, and another throw in here. Looking for Brahman on the header, can't get it to him. Coling was there at first, and that sends us to the end of the first half. No score between FC Dallas and the Michigan Jaguars. After one half of play, this is the USYS Soccer National Championships from the Toyota Soccer Center in Frisco, Texas. We'll take about a 10-minute break. Hope you'll come back with us for the second half of this semifinal matchup in the 17U division. Back in a moment.
Today's games are brought to you by AE Engine Media Marketing, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Bubba Burger, Bullseye CMYK, Cliff Kid, Expand-A-Brand, Front Rush, Fusionetics, Dick's Sporting Goods. Today's games are also brought to you by Major League Soccer, Nestle Nesquik, Nike, NSCAA, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, U.S. Soccer, Wilson Trophy Company, and Yokohama.
starts here. The road paved by pain, sacrifice, and struggle. The road paved by passion and pursuit. The road where dreams come true. On this road, many will fail, and on this road, many dreams will fade. But as for you, what will be your fate? When there are seconds left and you are running on fumes, will you be satisfied with almost? Or will you dig down into the dirt, take one more step and make one more play, knowing that good enough isn't good enough, and all the blood, sweat, and tears have brought you to this moment, the moment where pain turns to greatness. On this road, nothing is given, everything is taken. On this road, winners will rise to the top, heroes will be made, and on this road, champions will be crowned.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. Maguire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. Maguire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim Maguire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career, to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups, that kind of emulate the Maguire Cup.
Winning the Maguire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period, that's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied Maguire Cup?
Welcome back to the second half action of the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Our matchup here this morning featuring Michigan Jaguars green and FC Dallas Premier. No score after one half of play, and we are now underway in the second half action. FC Dallas in the red uniforms, the away uniforms, despite basically playing on their home fields here in Frisco. At least close to the area anyways. They go right to left and into a little bit of a wind, although it was mainly out of the east in the early going. Michigan, meanwhile, will head left to right in the second half of play. This Michigan team out of Novi, Michigan. We saw the first half feature a very aggressive style of offense from the Michigan Jaguars. They were attacking and attacking and attacking against FC Dallas. They could not strike, however, although a couple of opportunities came very close. Opposite style approach in the first half for FC Dallas. While there were periods of time where they controlled the ball for significant minutes, most of that time was spent back behind the line, but early on they come out in a hurry, and FC Dallas has scored to start the second half. Just a minute and a half into the second half. A goal for FC Dallas makes it 1-0. A little difficult to see down that way as to who got the goal. Well, a different style from FC Dallas here in the second half. Maybe that was the strategy all along. Marcus Puega. Puega down the left edge. Evades the defender for a moment, but can't really get away from him. He turns it over. Michigan's going to have it. FC Dallas fans do not like that call, but Michigan has it. Novi, Michigan, a town of about 50,000 or so. And they're on the wrong end of a 1-0 score right now as FC Dallas got the early strike in the second half. Fan came by at halftime to visit with us and asked me if I wouldn't mind giving a shout out all the way from Germany. Aachen, Germany. Lena is watching. So I want to say hello to Lena and anybody else from around the world, for wherever you may be. Thanks for tuning in here today, Lena. It's a little Saturday evening in Aachen, Germany, about 5:30 there, and it's a good time to watch soccer, I would say. Emilio Herrera for FC Dallas tripped up. Foul against Michigan. Free kick quickly placed back in by Joseph Nelson. Trevor Jackson in goal for FC Dallas. We mentioned earlier he's probably the tallest goalkeeper that we have seen, at least on our fields here. Luke McDonald is in goal for Michigan at the other end. Premier goalkeeper in the green uniform. The Michigan goalkeeper in the yellow. A steal right at midfield. A good takeaway, Jason Moe. And can he hold on to it? Yeah, he can for a moment, but FC Dallas comes right back with it. If you're Michigan, you have to keep the pressure on when you're on defense here, because from what we saw out of FC Dallas in the first half, where they just slow played the ball, They can't allow for too much of that to occur here in the second half, although it doesn't seem as if FC Dallas is going to take that style in the second half. They're really marching forward much differently than they did in the first frame. Good little punch out there from Cruz to find his teammate before falling down. Now back out to Herrera. Herrera tried to fire inside. It was blocked. Back out up top to Caleb Meyer. Herrera works it back to the middle. Now Meyer swings it back left. It's Herrera again. 1-0 FC Dallas. We're in the 51st minute. Quick fire shot inside there. Carlos Santamaria has it stopped by the goalkeeper McDonald. If you are for some reason just joining us in the second half and don't have communication with somebody else here, the reason we're just now getting second frame underway, our first contest today, the 1920U boys semifinals, went into overtime, and that was quite the contest. No score after regulation, and West Coast Haney eventually scored in the second half of the overtime. The other 17U boys semifinal was played on a field that did not have overtime, and so Baltimore Celtic leads Santa Clara 4-1. At last check, they were in the 88th minute. It's now over, so Baltimore Celtic is on to the championship. 4-1 victory over Santa Clara. Baltimore Celtic a perfect 4-0 here after going 3-0 in group play, registering 9 points. They defeated the Raiders 1-0 in their first game over on field 13. Ball batted near midfield there, and here comes Michigan. Good effort from Michael Checkman. Still going. Left-footed swing at it, knocked down by FC Dallas. Fans wanting a handball. I'm going to say that was not a handball because the FC Dallas player is down. I think he got hit right in the chest with it. Yeah, he took a pretty big hit there from close range, so I'd say it couldn't have still gone off a hand or an arm, but again, Baltimore Celtic a 1-0 win over the Raiders. Then they defeated FC Dallas Premier 3-1. Good movement across the middle there, intended for Alexander Delu, and he pokes it out. Well, that is a pretty decent look there for Michigan. And then Baltimore Celtic had a 6-1 win over Sparta, so they have definitely looked dominant out of the 17U division. Michigan had a 1-0 win against McLean Green from Virginia. A long shot that'll bounce right in front of the goalkeeper, Trevor Jackson. Drop kick from Jackson sends this one a long way back the other direction from one goalkeeper to the other. And FC Dallas, no call there, just be out, I think. Michigan 2-1-0, 6 points. Scored 2 goals and allowed 3. FC Dallas 1-1-1, 4 points. Scored 13 goals, allowed 7. Now those numbers would not even seem to match up what we saw in the first half. FC Dallas team that scored 13 goals in 3 games, and yet we barely saw them move the ball across midfield in the first half of this one. Could have been thanks in part to the defense of Michigan, but here goes Michigan one more time. This could be an opportunity. It is! It's in! Jordan Tirico ties it up at 1. '55th minute of play. Good assist as well. Of all the chances for Michigan to get one home, that one seemed like maybe one of the more difficult opportunities. So just 8 minutes later, the equalizing goal, making it 1-all. Just wonder if anybody's with me. I thought maybe that one was a little more difficult than some of the other chances they've had, but they made it work. Waited on it, got the right opportunity. Joseph Nelson for FC Dallas to the middle to Meyer. Goal in the 47th minute from FC Dallas, countered in the 55th minute. We are tied at 1-all. And that's just the third goal of the tournament for Michigan. Very much a defensive-minded performance through the first several contests. Again, it doesn't quite match up to what they've done here in this one, because they were actually -1 in the goal scoring differential, but yet we're able to register 2 wins and 1 loss. So just basically had a blowout loss in there. Now, FC Dallas also had the game where they won 10-2 over the Raiders. I remember we were tracking that one. So you take that away, and well, then they've only scored 3 goals, 4 including the one here in this contest, and you just have one of those anomaly type games. Michigan also had a game where they lost 3-0. So, and that kind of tossed those two out, and you can tell that the other 2 contests that each one of them played were fairly evenly matched. Caleb Meyer works it down to the right side. Good takeaway there by Tirico. But he wasn't quite able to hold on to it cleanly, so it's going to stay with FC Dallas. I believe that's Alex Ramirez throwing it in. Trevor Jackson misfiring a bit. Michigan will take it near midfield. Micah Sonnenberg to throw it in. Tirico trying to make his move down the left sideline, but FC Dallas player was there with him, and FC Dallas Premier will take over here. Well, it's only 7 and 9 o'clock matchups here today, at least on this field. Later tonight they'll crown a couple of champions in the younger classifications, and they'll start back up again tomorrow morning for the championship. So much different field than the preliminary play, where each field saw 4 games in one day. 3 matches being played on a couple of the fields today, mainly, and just 2 tomorrow. We're now in the 60th minute of action here in the second half, a 1-1 contest. We started this contest at about 83 degrees or so. It's 86 degrees now. Goalkeeper's going to come out and make a stop there. Heat index already has it feeling like 95 out there, so we'll watch that closely here in this final 30 minutes or so to see if the weather is going to affect these players at all. Michigan looks to work it up the field. Left side, Jeckman. Jeckman into the box, finds Tarico. He circles it back around a bit. Over to Cohen. And to the right side. Strong windup and a misfire. Trevor Jackson stood up on top of the hill for a moment, seeing if anybody might help him bring the soccer ball back in. Finally, a fan charges over to go help him. I'd say that'd be one area. If they could designate somebody to chase soccer balls, that might be a good idea. Been a well-run tournament. Smooth all the way around, at least from what I can tell. Joseph Nelson over to Pendergrass. FC Dallas and the Michigan Jaguars all tied at 1. Got a collision there. No call. I think that's the right call there. It looked like the FC Dallas player pushed forward and tried to create the contact that wasn't really there originally. It's quite the battle going on between these two now. Ball will stay in play, controlled by FC Dallas. Strong windup at the net, knocked down and then picked up. Luke McDonald makes the stop. Another collision near midfield, and play continues on. Did not warrant a foul by any means. Pendergrass, good pass left side. Finds Alex Ramirez, a header batted away there by Michigan, and now kicked out. Pretty big kick from Nelson, but I don't know if that was intended to be a pass up in front to somebody. There was nobody there. He missed the left of the goal. Good footwork by Michigan. Nice pass up in front. Alexander Delu, but he couldn't hold on to it. Good knockout there by FC Dallas, but it's going to keep it with Michigan, so. We have another one of the teams competing here in the tournament over on the far side watching this contest. It could very well be the champion. It is. It's Baltimore Celtic over there watching. I shouldn't say champion, but going on to the championship. Baltimore Celtic winning a little bit earlier. Got the benefit of being on the field without overtime game prior. So they are already done watching. Trying to figure out who their opponent's going to be. A little extra scouting that can take place. You might wonder, well, is that unfair? And I don't think so. I mean, they probably had somebody over here watching anyways for the entire time, doing some scouting, I would think. Besides, they could both go watch the game back on YouTube later, so they let that one go, and FC Dallas goalkeeper is going to control it after Nelson kicks it back to him. FC Dallas player playing that one out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Michigan here in just a moment. Michael Jeckman goes out of the game for Michigan. A couple of players coming in for this Michigan team. .66 minute of play, 1-1 is our score. FC Dallas premier, the Michigan Jaguars. Tough tangle there between Alexander Delu and the FC Dallas player. An attempt at a backwards pass from Braden Walker, sniffed out nicely there by FC Dallas to make sure that didn't result in a scoring opportunity. Walker controlling. Under a lot of pressure. They really keyed in on him, that's for sure. One of the college players on this team. FC Dallas's Trevor Jackson, the goalkeeper, plays at the University of Central Arkansas. Meanwhile, Michigan's Alexander Delu at Western Michigan University. Dominic Gaston at the University of Detroit, Michigan. And Braden Walker plays at Saginaw Valley State University. Dan Dyack, the head coach for Michigan. Scott Diamond is the head coach for FC Dallas. 67th minute of play. Michigan with the ball up to Walker. Nothing there for Walker. Cleaned out by Meyer. Looking upfield for Brahman, but Coling able to get to it first. There's the wind taking that ball a little bit there, as our wind is going east to west today. Emilio Herrera. Herrera fires right side, picked up by the goalkeeper McDonald to slow things down for a moment. Michigan to the midway line. Up in front, had to wait for that ball to get to him. Now punches near the box. Here comes a shot, missed left. Alexander Delu gave it a good effort. Opportunity here for both teams to take a quick break in the 68th minute of action. In our second half, we're tied at 1 between Michigan and FC Dallas. Back here in just a moment from the USYS Soccer National Championships in Frisco, Texas. Back to play here in the 68th minute of action, a 1-1 game between the Michigan Jaguars and the FC Dallas Premier Club in our 17U boys division. A long way to go, but at the same time, not that much time left. We'll see what ends up happening. A 47th minute goal from FC Dallas, followed by a goal in the 55th minute from Michigan. And the crowd woke up a little bit here as Michigan fans urging their team on. Back and forth style for FC Dallas in the early going. We saw them doing much of this. Then they started out that second half with a bang. Got a goal fairly quickly and then slowed it back down again. Baltimore Celtic team is over on the far side of the field away from us watching. They were standing up after playing their 90 minutes or so. They finally found some shade and a place to sit down. So they are on to the championship, awaiting their opponent, one of these two teams. Donald was ready to go there finally and kicks it back again to midfield Joseph Nelson for FC Dallas controlling. Attempt to go through the middle. Jason Moe says, I don't think so. And is able to get the ball back to Michigan. Rizzo, Antonio Rizzo, but he lost it. Here's Brahman. Tries to slide it through. Not going to happen. Coling rejects the pass through the middle. Rizzo along the right side, back to midfield, DeLu. He crosses field position over to the left to Palafox. And Braden Walker now. Walker finds a little bit of space. That one's free right at the net, and it's cleared out at the last second by FC Dallas. Goodness gracious, it was right there for the taking. Good effort that time from Rizzo. Rizzo punches it across, a header! It goes in! What a play! And they call offsides. Oh my! Rizzo and DeLu thought they had the goal of their life perhaps there. But offsides was the call, and just like that, Jackson, the goalkeeper, punched it back out and play resumes. We're still tied at 1. Fire from outside the box this time from DeLu, and not as much on it. 71st minute of play. That's definitely helped build the excitement just a bit. Jose Bravo out on the field for FC Dallas. Haven't seen too much of him. Good takeaway and knockdown there. Micah Sonnenberg, I believe it was, coming up with it. Michigan, even though they didn't get that one counted, they've got the momentum right now. Well, I was ready to award the assist of the tournament there on that one a moment ago, but not the case. And not that they allow me to award that, but you know, hey. Michigan elects to redirect here, bring it back to the near side. That one's going to be out of play off of Michigan. Sub for FC Dallas, Jose Bravo is going to trot off the field. One of the captains coming back in for FC Dallas. I believe it's, David Ortiz And David Ortiz controls. Hard punch, knocked down with the chest. And FC Dallas can't make a play on that one. Well, about 17 minutes left in regulation now. Both sides scoring a goal in the second half after we played to a draw in the first half. If you're wondering about overtime rules, 2 15-minute halves, and we were discussing that before the start of the previous overtime contest. You know, part of the reason they don't play the golden goal rule is to give both sides a bit of an opportunity. But even more so than that, our producer here, Jeremy Sullivan, said that he just asked that question a couple of weeks ago, and the real reason why they play the 2 15-minute halves is to give both sides the same equal opportunity. You never know what the wind may be like, what the sun may be like, how it affects the two teams. Today there's not much of that, but they've got to play it evenly either way. Player down for Michigan. And it looked like maybe a player for FC Dallas also slightly banged up. '75th minute of action as FC Dallas kind of creeps in there on defense, trying to make something happen. They're able to get the takeaway now. So after that no goal from Michigan a little while ago, called for the offsides, pace picked up for about 3-4 minutes, but it's slowed down again. Brahman works it over to the sideline to his teammate Herrera. Back to Brahman. He's working up against Stoneback. Brahman goes around Stoneback, punches it over to the cross, and that one is kicked away. Oh my. There's a chance there. Still have to stay with it as Ortiz controls. Ortiz to Herrera. Boots it into the middle of play where it's picked up off a one-hop by McDonald. Four consecutive headers before that one finds its way to the ground. And pushing the back, a foul called there against Caleb Meyer. Another sub for Michigan. Joe Ameki trying to shoot one into the box. Can't do so. Blocked away. Ortiz winds it up. He fires, and he goes high. Too much for the captain, David Ortiz. It is going to stay, however, with FC Dallas from the corner here. Ortiz from the corner in the 78th minute towards the right post. The header from Castro doesn't go. Back out near midfield as Herrera will try to reel it in. He can't do so. Alexander Delu has it for a moment. Got another corner coming. Let's see. No, okay, they just quickly trigger it back into play. Ortiz finds his teammate. Back out to Ortiz. He'll set it up with the left foot. And that one's going to, I believe, be chased down the corner. Nope, it ends up going out. '79th minute of action. We are tied at 1 between FC Dallas and Michigan. Joe Ameki splits a couple of defenders. He falls down. We got the foul call here. And a yellow card issued. Not quite sure who that was issued to for Michigan. There were a couple of players over there. So here's a real opportunity for FC Dallas late in the action. They've got 3 players surrounding the ball here. Not exactly sure who is going to have the responsibility of trying to put this one close. Carlos Santamaria is over there, number 27. Also David Ortiz, number 31, the captain. And Emilio Herrera, number 17. So those 3 huddled up. They're joined by a teammate now. 80th minute of play. This one placed just a little bit outside the box, maybe 5 or 10 yards or so. It's on the far side of the field. Well, we're down to 2 FC Dallas players over there, still trying to figure out who's going to go after this one, and maybe part of their plan to see if they can't throw Michigan off a little bit. They're still putting people in place where they want to. So David Ortiz is the one delivering the kick, and not much drama there. Booted back away by Michigan. Boy, all of that was like a 3-hour movie with a bad ending. They took forever to line up their kick, and then it didn't have much. Joseph Nelson at midfield for FC Dallas. About to hit that 82nd minute of play. Ortiz works it left side to Cruz. Cruz has his drive stutter out a bit. Now Ortiz. Coling there. Michigan comes away with it. I think Michigan's going to do this at a little bit faster pace if they get the ball on their end. They tried to work it up front, and don't think that is going to happen as that one rolls out. Intended for Rizzo. If you're a coach, what do you take? One real quick opportunity that didn't result in much, or a couple of slower chances? Ortiz trying to find Brahman. And Brahman could not get it to go, but I think they made a call there. They did, but it was against FC Dallas anyways. Must have been offsides there on Brahman. Delu can't hold on to it cleanly. Carlos Santamaria on the cross. Going, oh my. Oh, he had the header to try to send it away and almost found it in the back of his own net. Yikes. May not have been as close as it looked from our angle, but from here, looked very close. Corner kick coming for FC Dallas. 83rd minute of play. Here's the corner right in between the goalposts, and it's knocked away. It goes to Garrett Brahman. And we got some contact underneath. They're going to let play continue on as Brahman sends one in, and that one goes way high off of the foot of his teammate. Yeah. Pounding the grass on his way up, but he definitely missed that one. Well, we saw a bicycle kick as the winner in our last contest for West Coast over Chicago Fire in the 1920 U Division contest. Almost had the sideways kick there to put one in. Foul call on FC Dallas, tripping of that Michigan player there. Michigan hurries play along. 85th minute of play now. As we've got about 6 minutes to go. Michigan trying to find something. Interesting play there from Palafox. He's still dribbling with it, and that one's out. Should be a corner upcoming here for Michigan. Antonio Rizzo is going over to the corner. Antonio Rizzo sends it low, knocked out by Savon Pendergrass, and they say off of Michigan, so that's going to give the ball to FC Dallas. A quick kick there from Trevor Jackson, working it over to his teammate Herrera. Nothing there for the corner that time from Michigan a moment ago, and here comes FC Dallas again. A lot of contact there. They allow play to continue on. Santa Maria for FC Dallas was tangled up a bit. He's saying he was held by the jersey. Ortiz tripped up Jason Moe, and they'll play it at midfield. Referee telling Moe not to let that happen again. A break here for an FC Dallas substitution. Down to about 4 minutes left here in regulation. Yeah, early on I was willing to give FC Dallas the benefit of the doubt on moving the ball downfield, but not so much anymore. They tried it again. Ortiz, the captain, crosses over, finds a seam, and it's going to roll right to the goalkeeper in McDonald. He fires it out left side to get the ball up the field for Michigan. Punch down the left side for Walker. Can he get control of it? It is out, and it'll stay with... No, it's going to go to FC Dallas. I thought Michigan had it. Oh, wait a minute. So it is going to be with Michigan. I thought that's what it looked from my vantage point, but I'm a long ways off from over there. '88th minute of play. A 1-1 contest here. Michigan FC Dallas, a chance at the championship is on the line. DeLu tried to work his way down inside, and it was knocked free by FC Dallas. DeLu chasing for it. And it'll go out in FC Dallas. Nope. Yeah, it has the throw in. Ashmore with the throw in to Moe. Nothing there for Moe. Didn't handle it cleanly. Had to push it back. Stoneback elects to go back to the goalkeeper. So McDonald sends it forward up in front to Gadsden. Gadsden tangled up with Brahman. Now it's intended up the field for Rizzo. Nothing there for Rizzo, however, as Herrera took it away for FC Dallas. Misplay there by the captain Ortiz. Michigan has it. And then they lost it. FC Dallas takes over. About a minute and a half here left in the second half. 88-30 our time. Ortiz over to DeLeon. Back to Ortiz. He might try to wind up a long one here in a minute. Instead, over to Brahman. Brahman, the back pass to Ortiz. And Ortiz will play it down the line. Nothing there for him that time. Rizzo back to the middle of the field. Quick pass. A chance for Michigan. On the move at midfield. Michigan's DeLu. DeLu works it to Walker. Walker goes around. One man who falls down. Walker still has it. Walker along with Welch. And that one knocked away. Less than a minute to go by our mark. Could be the last opportunity at the offensive end here for Rizzo and Michigan here in the second half. Corner kick coming for Anthony Rizzo. Wouldn't this be a way to end it? Rizzo sends it low. Knocked away. DeLu past two defenders. Can't get into the box. And that is the end of regulation here. So we are headed to some extras. Michigan and FC Dallas tied at 1. We'll play two 15-minute halves coming up here in just a little while. This is the USU Soccer National Championships from Frisco, Texas. So nothing decided just yet here as we go into overtime action between Michigan and FC Dallas in the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships from Frisco, Texas. We're on the RAV4 field at the Toyota Soccer Center. Thanks for being with us. What's turned out to be a bit of a long morning. We'll work this one into the early afternoon before it's all over with. 2 15-minute halves for overtime. 1-1 our score. A goal in the 47th minute, scored by FC Dallas. And Michigan countered with a goal in the 55th minute of play. And so again, 2 15-minute halves. There's no golden goal rule here. They'll play it all the way out. And then if by chance we are still tied after the 2 15-minute frames, we'll head into the penalty kick stage and ultimately decide a winner there. The other half of the bracket already set. Baltimore Celtic had a 4-1 victory a little bit earlier, and they are no longer over on that far side watching. Some of their fans are, maybe a few players still taking part and being a spectator, but Baltimore Celtic was able to start right at 9 o'clock. Their 7 a.m. game did not go into overtime, so they were able to start right away and finish almost before this one came to a close at the first half. So again, 4-1 was the final there. Baltimore Celtic is the other half of the championship bracket. Michigan going right to left in this opening 15 minutes of play. White uniforms. FC Dallas is in the red. They're going left to right. And Michigan's going to have a free kick upcoming here. Michael Jeckman. Let's see where they actually place this one here. Jeckman on the corner. Just don't get too many of these opportunities here. See what Michigan is able to do with the corner. Sends it in pretty high. There's a header that bounces once in front of the goalkeeper, and Jackson makes the stop. That was a perfectly placed ball. Had an opportunity there for Michigan, couldn't come up with it, and so we stay tied at 1. FC Dallas now controlling. Again, they're going left to right in the first 15-minute overtime frame. Missed it earlier. We were just discussing, why they don't do the golden goal rule or why they have to play 2 15-minute halves. In some situations you may wonder, well, they could play 15. If somebody scores, then we end it. But that's not the case. They want to give both sides a fair chance. It's basically like playing a shortened version of a full game. Instead of 90 minutes, you play 30 minutes, so about a third of a real game. Well, they'll switch sides at the 15-minute mark. Throw in from Dominic Gaston. A little bit of a pushing and shoving match going on there between Stoneback and Ortiz. Had the opportunity to visit with a few parents in between the end of regulation and the start of overtime. We're in a covered up tent area, which has kept us a little bit cooler than most perhaps. And some of those fans from Michigan came over to take in the shade underneath the tent. It was good to talk to some of the parents. Coling stepping up and knocking that one free over to Walker. Michigan controls taken away. Now Walker's pass was a little bit slow over to Jeckman, and it was a pretty easy takeaway by Meyer. Meyer trying to straighten up, look for some help. Now he finds it. Ball worked right side, Riviera. Riviera bounces one into the box. It's still loose. Left foot kick that time from Joe Ameki. Can't get it to go. They track down out of play by Luke McDonald. A lot of things to do around this area, but there's just really not a whole lot of time. And of course, parents have spent a lot of money, time, and effort to get down here, and the players need to rest when they can. And so we're told the Michigan team took in a movie yesterday, but apparently coach made them walk to the theater, get a little exercise in for their workout. Don't worry, they were safe. Safe area around here. Pretty easy to well, not necessarily easy to walk. It's so spread out, but you're not going to run into any real issues walking around through here. We do hope that the folks from Michigan and other areas have enjoyed their time in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, more like North Dallas. Huge goal scored on the field next to us that grabbed everybody's attention over here, because this one had kind of come to a stop. Everybody just had a quick swing of their heads from left to right to look over at the field behind us. Dalu with a kick coming here from Michigan. Dalu floats it towards the right post. Knocked around a bit, a collision with an FC Dallas player, and he jumps up and pushes one of the Michigan players. This FC Dallas team has been the most chippy team that I've seen. I just call it like I see it, everybody. I'm not a homer or for one side or the other, even though I'm from this area, but this FC Dallas players getting after it a little bit, pushing after the whistle. Deep kick from Jackson. Good control from Braden Walker a moment ago, and Walker trying to get it over to Dalu. FC Dallas will try to kick it back up the field and clear it out. They can't exactly do so. Sonnenberg. Saw a lot of the fans turn and look at me a moment ago and see me leaning around them to try to get a view, so they've kind of moved back a little bit for me. I hate to make them move. I can work around them. And going to have a throw in from the far side of the field for Michigan. Ortiz for FC Dallas, able to get that one out of the box. And now another FC Dallas player punches another one out. We're into the 8th minute now of the first half of the overtime. In our last contest, the 1920U boys semifinals, they did not allow for water breaks during the overtime, so that only occurring during the regulation. It would certainly make for some drama and some excitement if this one ended up into penalty kicks. We're still pretty good ways away from that occurring. Michigan has it out in front. Michigan on the move. Punched over to Walker, and he'll turn it back to the net, and it's kicked away. Backline holds up for FC Dallas. They race the other direction. Sliding tackle made that time to knock the ball free. Micah Sonnenberg. Good clean play there from Sonnenberg. Meyer and Pendergrass in the backfield. Goalkeeper's going to make a stop on that one. Luke McDonald coming up with it. Walker trying to clear some space. Walker still in possession. Walker able to find his teammate, Dalu. Another one knocked away. Good effort that time, Sonnenberg. Sonnenberg all over the place right now. Sonnenberg shoved just a bit by Ameki. Sonnenberg will throw it in for Michigan. 10th minute of our first overtime here. Ball loose, FC Dallas punches back to midfield. Michigan controlling, and they'll just work it over to the far side to Gaston. Jason Moe deflects one off the back of an FC Dallas player. Another attempt. That one doesn't go anywhere, and that one will be knocked back out by FC Dallas. They try to work it up to Brahman. Brahman will have his work cut out for him against this defense there. He loses it momentarily. FC Dallas keeps the possession. This one's out up in front. Offsides is the call. Joe Ameki too far out in front. Pretty good pass there right side over to Jason Moe. He attempting to get it down to Tarico. Tarico had the goal in the 55th minute for this Michigan team. Cross Walker, it's up top, a header attempt missed by Jeckman. About 4 minutes left in this first overtime before we have another break. Ramon DeLeon for FC Dallas. FC Dallas tries to work this ball inside the box. They'll send it back across, and a header knocks it away by Sonnenberg. Ortiz claiming that he was held, and now a late whistle. Ortiz for FC Dallas gets the call. Foul against Michigan. 3 minutes to go in the first overtime. FC Dallas loves to take their time here when setting up their opportunities. Ortiz into the box. A header goes right from Joseph Nelson. Nelson broke in, looked like at the right time there. Pretty good setup from FC Dallas. No result. We're still tied at 1. 2 minutes to go in the first overtime. Entering the 14th minute of play here. Good kick that time by Ameki. Here comes FC Dallas, but see how long they have it here. Bravo. Won't have much of a play on that. It ends up going out, and believe it'll be a corner here for FC Dallas. It will be. David Ortiz from the corner. Ortiz, header, misses right again. Good job by FC Dallas to be able to make a play on the ball, but not able to get one home. 15th minute of play here, first overtime, 1-1 our score. Chance at the championship on the line. Michigan Jaguars and FC Dallas. That championship contest is tomorrow. Baltimore Celtic is in. It'll be a 10 a.m. start in the boys championship. We're just about to hit the end of this first overtime. And maybe one more opportunity for FC Dallas before the whistle. They are in possession right now. Pendergrass at midfield. And that's the end of the first overtime here. So we're still tied at 1. We'll take another quick break and come back for the second overtime in just a moment. It's FC Dallas and Michigan right here from Briscoe, Texas. Start of the second overtime here in the USYS Soccer National Championship. 17U boys semifinal action. 1-1 our score. Michigan now heading left to right in this second overtime frame in the white uniforms. And FC Dallas is going right to left in the red uniforms. 89 degrees our temperature right now. Partly cloudy skies, and I would say it's more on the partly than it is cloudy, as there's not too many clouds in the sky at this point. There's a goal from Michigan. And that may very well be the difference. Hard to see a jersey number when he rips the jersey off. Michigan scores. All right. That was Walker with a goal. Braden Walker? Yeah, Braden Walker with the goal there. Whoa, what a momentum swing early on in the second overtime, just a minute in. Well, I was just about to say that the folks from Michigan need some sort of cool down. It's only 78 degrees back home for them, and that may cool down their nerves just a little bit. 1-0. And now we've got a player down, probably could be dealing with some heat cramps. It's normally normally see somebody stretching a player out like that. It's those calf cramps. If If you're Michigan, you kind of hate that your player went down there. You got all the momentum. Now it's kind of gotten quiet again, but Dominic Gaston back up. Now you feel for those guys playing in this kind of heat where it's about 25 degrees cooler back home. And a lot of these guys, we've been told that, you know, a couple of them have played every single minute of every single match. And now here you are into the second overtime trying to make it to a championship. So Gaston's going to go out. Tirico with the earlier goal. Walker now. 2-1 our score. Michigan leads FC Dallas. I hope that's just a calf cramp. Nothing too much more severe for Gaston. I'm imagining that's probably what it is. So the pace of FC Dallas has lent to a much slower contest. But remember, they started that second half with a very quick goal as they went right at Michigan. We'll see what they do now, trailing 2-1. Looks like they're going to work it around, try to find something good before they just put the gas pedal down all the way. Steal there by Michigan. Yeah, at the midway line, got to be careful here. Doesn't have a lot of help up front. And Nicholas Palafox, he did a good job moving the ball all the way downfield. Good job there by Palafox. I would imagine if you're trying to coach a player on what to do, that's exactly what you want. He didn't have any help. Nobody was around him. He just kept a short dribble in front of him and got it down into the corner. Forced the back line for FC Dallas to make the move, and they knocked him over. So now we've got Delu putting it back in play. And that one is out off of Michigan, so FC Dallas gets it right back. Big running start on the throw-in. Santa Maria able to work it up the right side to Riviera, and they work it deep down into the corner now to Cruz. FC Dallas trailing 2-1. Attempt set up for Rivera, blocked. And now they kick it back out to Meyer. Meyer battling one-on-one there. Will punch it over to the left side. He finds Herrera, Emilio Herrera. Into the box. Who's going to come up and get it? The goalkeeper will. Luke McDonald makes the stop, and we're down to the final 10 minutes of action. Header there in midfield by FC Dallas, and the Premier controls. And Nelson to Santa Maria. Knocked away by Michigan for a moment there. Michigan doesn't have to get in too much of a hurry now. We've saw them throughout this one, especially in the first half. They had just a up and down, fast-paced first half when they had their opportunities. That style didn't really work out for them in the first half, but it's worked to their advantage at this point now. Going to be a tough play and a good stop by Luke McDonald that time. Boy, he had all sorts of traffic in front of him. He was able to weave his way through it to make a stop. He might as well be able to drive in Texas if he can do that. The way people dodge in and out of traffic here. Good play there again by Rizzo. And Rizzo sensing that he doesn't need to force the issue too much just yet. They can stay back a little bit if they want. FC Dallas does come up with the ball, however. Santa Maria will pass up ahead on the right side. And I think that is Coling down there. Sent up ahead in front for Walker, but it was out. Entering the 23rd minute of our overtime here. 2-1 our score. Michigan leading FC Dallas. Saw the Baltimore Celtic players watching a little bit earlier. Most of them have gone back to the hotel perhaps, try to cool off, but some of their representatives still on that far side watching. They're on to the championship tomorrow. That's going to take place, by the way, on field 6. A delay here for a sub for FC Dallas. Sebastian Rivera takes a seat. Interesting throw in back to the goalkeeper. He didn't boot it downfield, just kind of pushed it up to Nelson. Santa Maria Ortiz has it for a moment, and now Michigan comes away with it again. Got some pressure behind him, does DeLu, and the steal works for FC Dallas. Rodriguez has it taken away. Michigan controls Rizzo. Rizzo down into the corner, falls down, foul call. I think you give this another minute and a half, 2 minutes, you start going into keep away mode, if they're not already in that mode. Kind of hard to tell. FC Dallas has had the ball as of late. DeLu along with Rizzo. Good footwork from DeLu. Now somebody else will step up for FC Dallas and try to get it, and they're able to do so. Meyer, strong pass up in front to Brahman, but it went past him. He couldn't grab it cleanly. FC Dallas, that one's going to misfire. 25th minute of action here. Sub coming for FC Dallas. Caleb Meyer will go take a seat on the bench. .25 minutes of overtime complete. We've got 5 minutes to go. A 2-1 contest. Michigan with the lead. Michigan, the top seed out of Group A. Baltimore Celtic, the top team out of Group B. And the Baltimore Celtic team 4-0. So with the way they set up the semifinals, where it's the top team against the second-seeded team from the other division, there would have been a chance for 2 Group A teams or 2 Group B teams to play each other. But if this holds, it'll be A against B. Down the right sideline is Cruz. Cruz, fire inside, a header by Stoneback. However, it's set right up to Greenrich, and he cannot get that one to go. So watching the time closely, another minute gone by. We're down to 4 minutes to play. Again, we have no official clock on our side. We have to wait on the referee's official. That could come a little bit early, a little bit late of our time. We'll just have to wait and see. The captain for FC Dallas, Premier Ortiz, with it over to Santa Maria. A short pass, a lot of pressure that time from Michigan, and they're able to come away with it. Here we go, Michigan out in front. Ball still loose, and Walker back with it again. He goes to the far corner, and Walker lost it out of bounds. Again, working to the corner, try to run that clock. Also see if they can't get a corner kick set up, but just a mishandle there by Walker. Ball placed inbound to Santa Maria for FC Dallas. Here comes Premier running out of opportunities. They trail 2-1. That'll be cleared out again by Michigan. That one placed a long way down there. Walker punches it free. He's going to try to stay with it. Can't quite get a handle on it as Nelson recovers it for Premier. Over to Ricky Greenrich. Oh, ball up in front on a bit of a scary play there. If you're a Michigan fan, Ashmore was able to clear it back to midfield. We're down to about 2 minutes to go now. Santa Maria tries to work it into the box to Brahman. Can't get it to him. Another big knockaway from Sonnenberg. We'll bring the goalkeeper out, Trevor Jackson, to try to get this one close. We're going to allow the sub to come in. Taking Braden Walker out. I would guess more of a defensive-minded player just came in as Walker goes out. This final minute and a half. Going to need the net at the other end pretty much empty right now as Jackson's playing near midfield. And then a goal goes in the 30th minute for FC Dallas. That one just skirted inside the left post. Are you kidding me? FC Dallas Premier is alive and well. They tie Michigan at 2. And we still have about a minute to go. Actually, less than that. Michigan scored in the first minute of our second overtime. And FC Dallas scores in the last minute of the second overtime. Talk about two opposite ends of the spectrum here in this second frame. That ball never even left the ground. It just stayed on the ground basically the whole way. So if it stays tied here for the next 45 seconds or so, we'll head into penalty kicks. Walker's all of a sudden back in. Got to get that offensive player back down there and give him another opportunity. That ball ended up halfway across field 3, so player hops up off the bench for Michigan to try to get it back in play quick enough. Palafox to Walker. Walker tries to back down his man, turns on him now, and will fire across, but nobody really there. Here comes Michigan's Jason Moe, and Moe kicks it out. Two to 2 hour score in the second overtime here. Shouldn't have too much more time left. You know, we did have the player that was down being stretched out and they stopped play there. That was right after the goal. So there brings us to the end of the overtime, and penalty kicks are coming up in just a moment, so we'll have that for you here in just a second. Stay with us. This is the USU Soccer National Championships. Welcome back into the Toyota Soccer Center, the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Doesn't get much better than this, right, folks? We're into the penalty kick shootout here between Michigan and FC Dallas. So up first is going to be Michigan, going up against the goalkeeper from the University of Central Arkansas, Trevor Jackson. Again, you're just joining us, Michigan in the white uniforms, and first up for Michigan will be Antonio Rizzo. A very early goal in the first minute of our second overtime by Michigan. FC Dallas with a goal in the last minute of the second overtime. Best of 5 in the penalty kicks. Again, in goal, Jackson. Trevor Jackson against Rizzo. And the referee not quite ready yet, so hold on, everybody. Go ahead, unbuckle your seatbelt, relax a little bit. We're not ready for the drive just yet. All right, I think everybody's on the same page now. One of these teams on the brink of elimination. It's going to come down to the penalty kicks. A chance at the championship. Contest is on the line. Baltimore Celtic, the opponent. We know that tomorrow, 10 o'clock. But this one's still to be determined here. Rizzo, he's ready to go. Against Trevor Jackson. Rizzo fires, he's got it in! Jackson went the right way, but it still got past him. And it's 1-0 Michigan with FC Dallas attempting for the first time. Luke McDonald in goal. Michigan had its opener where they gave up a lot of goals, but since then they've been solid. And so here we go, FC Dallas. Rodriguez. Did he go ahead of the whistle there? Yep, they won't count that one. Sorry, not Rodriguez, but Marcos Puega. 3 and the 1 I could not see there. So Michigan able to get their first one home. And this time Puega does await the whistle. He lets it go in, right past a diving McDonald, who chose the wrong way. And it's 1-1 after one penalty kick. Callum is going to attempt this one. Ashmore. He gave me the opportunity to pick which goal I wanted to see the penalty kicks at. Difficult to read the jersey numbers on the back as they walk up at this angle. About the goalkeeper, Trevor Jackson, all the way out there now backpedaling. Mentioned it earlier, the tallest goalkeeper we've seen, at least here on field 4. That gives him a little bit of an advantage there. Ashmore fires, deflected and in! Deflected off of Jackson, off the top of the crossbar and down. 2-1, Michigan in the best of 5 penalty kick shootout. After it was 2-2 after overtime. Jackson visibly frustrated with himself there. He had the stop, just couldn't quite get a clean hand on it to knock it down or away. So here is David Ortiz needing this goal to tie it back up at 2. 2-1 Michigan leads FC Dallas in the penalty kick shootout. This is the captain for FC Dallas. He fires and he's got it to go. That one also off of McDonald and in. Boy, a miss now is crucial. Tied at 2 after 2. Big crowd on hand here for this one, lining the sidelines. Micah Sonnenberg's turn. Talked a lot about the weather throughout this one, and this team out of Michigan having to play through this. Several of their players have played every minute of the tournament. 78 degrees back home for them, and this FC Dallas team used to the heat. Which side's going to fire it up here? Sonnenberg, 2-2. The third penalty kick attempt, got it, leaning the wrong way was Jackson. And basically an open net there for Michigan to make it 3-2. Baltimore Celtic had the luxury of playing on a field that did not have overtime before them. So they've been done for a couple of hours now. And not only did we have overtime in our 7 a.m. contest, this one started about 9:45, but well past the overtime now. 3-2 Michigan leads FC Dallas in the penalty kick stage. Looking to tie it up, FC Dallas fires, and it's in. Another one goes home down as Carlos Santamaria pushes one through and ties it at 3. So here is an extremely important kick for Michigan. Tied at 3. And it's going to come from Alexander Delu. Delu plays his college soccer at Western Michigan University. Michigan and FC Dallas 3-all on the penalty kicks. Delu against Trevor Jackson. Delu to the ball, shoots, scores! He got it to go! Oh my, 4-3, nobody has missed yet. Jackson just can't believe it. And good sportsmanship. McDonald on his way in net, high fives Jackson along the way out. So if that one a moment ago was important for Michigan, how about this one, FC Dallas? Their 4th attempt. They've made the previous 3. Can McDonald choose right? Here comes the kick. It goes past him even though he went the right way, and that makes it 4-all. Orlando Castro that time. How about this? Stepping out of the goal for the penalty kick opportunity, Luke McDonald. You know these guys love this moment. They never get to score. McDonald, goalkeeper against goalkeeper. It's 4-all. Michigan. That one goes in for McDonald, and it makes it 5-4. Jackson's yet to stop one. You've got a certain amount of pressure on you when you're the team that goes first, but, oh, the pressure now on the home team, FC Dallas. Got to make it to keep going. It's up to Joseph Nelson to keep the crowd entertained, at least for one more kick. Will it end here? 5-4 Michigan with the lead on FC Dallas. We've had the whistle. Nelson takes his time. Here comes Joseph Nelson, and it's good. We're all tied at 5 still. After the make by Nelson, giving his goalkeeper a little bit of a pep talk. Nick Palafox will have the kick now for Michigan, 5-all. I think they were waiting on Joseph Nelson to get back near the midway line. He had a bit of a conversation for his goalkeeper, then kind of slowly made his way back that direction. A couple of the FC Dallas players not watching. Everybody from Michigan lined up along the line. Palafox, we're tied at 5. He's wanting clarification on if he can move the ball, and he does so. Jackson right in the middle of the goal. Palafox delivers! 6-5. Come down to this again for FC Dallas, perhaps. Luke McDonald back in goal. Awfully quiet right now. Premier will go to Cruz, Fabian Cruz. Needs to put it in the back of the net to keep going. His team down 6-5 with a 6th penalty kick. There's the whistle. Cruz approaching the ball, will fire, and that one goes through as well. McDonald just couldn't quite stop it. He leaned the wrong way just long enough. FC Dallas has been on the defensive here in the penalty kicks as Michigan has made each of their first 6 attempts. Can Jackson get a stop? Jeremy Cohen has the opportunity now for Michigan. And our referee is going to slow things down here a bit. Not quite sure what this discussion is all about here. Now we'll all get together and discuss this here. Now what a moment to stop things down. One of the FC Dallas players in the huddle there trying to just figure out what the conversation is all about. And it's got something to do with either the order or maybe making sure. Oh, they're actually talking to an FC Dallas player. All right, so I think after all that, they're now ready to go. Michigan Jaguars and the FC Dallas Premier. It's up to Jeremy Cohen for Michigan. 7th penalty kick. We're tied at 6 here. Jackson in net, and Jackson makes a stop! The University of Central Arkansas goalkeeper and FC Dallas Premier goalkeeper makes the first penalty kick stop. Cohen couldn't get it past him. And now with FC Dallas standing on their heels, much of the penalty kick can lean forward a little bit, a chance to win it. How about this approach all the way outside the box? Ricky Greenwich not seen just a whole lot of action in this one. Here comes Greenwich for the win! He got it! FC Dallas is moving on! 7-6 in penalty kicks. FC Dallas with a goal in the last minute of the second overtime, and then 7 straight penalty kick makes. What a performance today by both of these teams, and Congratulations to Michigan on a good year. Special thanks to their fans who helped us along the way in this one as well. They were friendly folks, great to visit with. We sure enjoyed that. 7-6 in penalty kicks, FC Dallas over Michigan. Thank you for staying with us throughout this one. I know it was a long one for you. This has been coverage of the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships from the Toyota Soccer Center in Frisco, Texas. I'm Michael Westbrook. So long for now, everybody.